Good morning. It's Friday, the 16th of January. It's currently 2:27 a.m. Haven't been to sleep last night or this morning in the last 2 hours and 27 minutes of this morning. However, I have been awake and aware. And what I've been doing is I've been watching videos of some grime artists like Skepta, JME, Dizzy Rascal, Lethal Bizzle, DEE. It's been really inspiring me. It's reminding me of that awesome way that it is in London. Everyone's just laughing and just going in hard. Coming out with these properly thought through, well written lyrics. Really good stuff. So, one thing leads to another. One video leads to another video. And then before you know it, it's 2:30 in the morning. These vlogs are going to be a real representation of my life, and that means seeing everything, whether you think that's perfect or imperfect. It's not for you or anyone to judge. I mean, what is the purpose, really, of judgment but to create further distinction between yourself and the other? It comes from a lack of understanding. And if you recognize that you have a lack of understanding, that means you have an issue, not the person who's on the other side of your judgment. Now, I'm thinking back to when I used to live in Ealing in West London. What a beautiful place it was. When the sun was shining and I would walk around Ealing and it was so lovely. I felt so incredibly good. A real beautiful place to be. I miss it dearly. And so I spend some amount of time watching videos about London and the culture of London and the life of London and the lifestyle of London and the way of being in London, and I do have this obsession with London, and it's hardly a surprise having spent so much time living there. I would like to spend a lot more time living there, because it really is a beautiful place full of beautiful people, and it's a lot to handle quite often. Just as yesterday, I spoke to the camera and I said that Manchester was a bit much, and so I got the train to go back home. It is too like that in London, but to have a home of your own in London is to be a very lucky person. Very lucky indeed. Not just lucky, but I would say quite lucky. Because to acquire that much money to actually get a home, get a house there in London, it requires a lot of luck. Now, of course, it is a possibility for that kind of luck to occur to anybody, but only the truly lucky ones are the ones that it will actually happen to. Now, everybody has the potential to be a statistical odd in which the circumstances of chance fall in their favour. However, many times that's not what happens. Now, I very much look forward to a time when I can really spend much more time in London again. And now that I have Cameron the camera keeping me company, that means that I would have a lot more to do in London. And whenever I'm there, I keep pretty busy as it is. And I do a dot to dot all around the place, joining one dot to another. And it's very, very refreshing to be in that place. There's something in the air. Call it love, call it wonder, call it beauty. It's there in abundance. And it really is a beautiful feeling. It's impossible to deny that. for me at least. Now, many people that I know of have spent time in London and said exactly the opposite. And there's times when that was me myself saying that. But the reality is, there's something there that is very special. And I haven't found it quite the way it is anywhere else. And that's why it means so much to me to be there. The feeling is so strong. The gravity, the pull that place has on me is incredibly magnetic and completely undeniable from my perspective. Now, you may laugh, you may think that I'm not making any sense, and that's okay. If you understand, you understand. And if you don't, you don't. And you can miss the point and take from it what you may and just move on to the next thing. And maybe the pieces of the puzzle will arrange themselves into the right position at some point in the future, and then you will understand. Okay, so what's stopping me from being where I'd like to be? Specifically, that is London. Well, that's not an easy question to answer for many reasons. But I have to say, the number one reason is not something I could state accurately. In reality, nothing, 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 nothing. Nothing, 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 nothing. Nothing, 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 nothing. Nothing, 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 nothing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Nothing, 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 nothing. So, in reality, nothing is stopping me. Now, you see here the processes of the mind as they are turning, changing, working, progressing, as thought translates to speech and the camera perceives what is seen. That is what you're seeing. And I'm reminded of a very specific moment now, which makes it all make sense. And that was last time I was in London and I went to Camden Town every day. First thing in the morning, I'd wake up and head straight to Camden Town. And there were several very specific instances in which it became very clear to me that whatever it was that was my future, the image of that was becoming clearer and clearer and clearer, and I could see it quite vividly. However, I still hadn't reached the point of manifestation that would bring that vision into reality. And that took many, many months, and it's still a work in progress. And I'll explain as best as I can what all of that means. Basically, there is a subtle energy that is created by a place, by the people of that place, and this subtle energy that they create is an accumulation of awareness, wisdom, understanding, and knowledge that has been cultivated through the experiences they've had. And this specific subtle energy is shared in moments that are felt by the reaction that you have to these energies as they wash through your soul, your heart and your mind, and they alter and change who you are and how you feel, what you think, and ultimately what you do. So these moments occurred for me in Camden Town as I walked around in a state of perfect bliss, feeling so good, so happy to be home again. That's the only way I can describe the feeling. It's something I feel deeply. This intimate connection to London. As if it is my true home. The feeling I have when I'm there is like no other. I feel as though I belong. I feel as though I'm understood. I feel as though I have a place. And that all means a lot to me. So, those feelings aren't going to just go away. And that's why I have this longing to go back. And I believe I will very soon. I really truly believe very soon I'll be able to return home. And I don't need to go into details about the specifics of how and what or anything. But I really do trust that everything is working out just fine. That life is just perfectly and brilliantly creating every situation that needs to occur in order for all the dreams and goals that a person could manifest. Now, it's the manifestation of dreams and goals that people tends to place on a pedestal as being the true flavour of life, the exciting bit. And of course, it is the exciting bit. But it is also all the in-between phases that are now, I believe, just as important. That means doing the work, putting in the time, thinking, preparing, training, doing whatever it is you need to do to get wherever it is that you need to be. Now, it's not that you couldn't do those things, because there really is no other option. You could think in a way that there are certain impossibilities in terms of your behaviour. It's not true. Everything has been organised by God. And there's a plan. Of course, there's a plan. It is all to be shown to you. And it takes understanding to know what's what. But understanding isn't something you can create or make happen. And there's no real pressure for you to have to understand anything anytime soon. And no amount of self-imposed pressure could actually make you realize or understand anything. There's no trick to speed up the process. There's no magic words to make everything happen instantly. If nothing happens, then nothing is your gift from God. And if something happens, then something is your gift from God. So thinking too deeply in a way that is attempting to unlock the lock to life in some way that is based on some kind of what I've heard referred to as magical thinking really is pointless. But it is also part of the grand plan. All the wasted time, all the so-called wasted time, is not wasted. It all fits in and coincides with the grand plan. And you have to remind yourself, it's not your plan, it's his plan. And he knows better. That's good as far as I'm concerned. That means I can learn from him. He knows more than me. I can learn from him. And so I really do feel the presence of this creator more so when I'm in London. For whatever reason, I'm not sure why that is. But it was in London that I discovered initially my connection to him. And to go back there really does feel like reconnecting to that perfect knowledge of peace and wisdom and understanding that I once had. Now, I haven't lost that. I really haven't. I do still have it, but it goes through phases, ebbs and flows, waves, where it seems to apparently come and go. Now, next time I go to London, I'll be filming everything on a constant basis, just as I am now here. And so that will really change the entire experience compared to last time. As last time, I got what I needed to in terms of personally, in terms of shared awareness, in terms of conceptual development, in terms of that soul transfer that occurs in those places where the people go who have the brilliance and the financial freedom to explore. They exist there, and to be amongst those folks is truly a gift. But eventually, I felt I had to go back here. And so I ended up here. And that means the dream of being a king left as well. And I came back to the world where I am just me. And I'm not happy now. That's the direction that was taken. And I didn't choose it and I didn't like it. Because it's true. I'm a king when I have everything I need to keep me moving. And I will just explore new territory as often as possible. Repetitively, obsessively. When I say I am a king, I mean basically that is how I feel. I feel important when I'm in that city, London, breathing the air, and the air there has this sense of importance. Important people live in London. That's a fact. That's what people accept. And so, to be amongst the important people makes one feel as though they are important and they matter. And that feeling to me of mattering, of having a relative sense of importance, of being an important person doing, taking an important position. That makes me feel like my life is worth living. Without that, I do feel a relative sense of lostness, a lack of purpose, a lack of feeling a sense of importance. To think that no one really cares about me, it hurts. I have to do what I can to make myself feel okay. And so that's what this new adventure is with Cameron the Cameron. Cameron the Cameron? Cameron the Camera. Cameron the Camera keeping me company in Camden. That'll be the next one. I will eventually get there. I have many things to do. It's going to be fun. I'm going to enjoy it. I can see all the faces now. I can visualise everything, everybody. And the future ahead of me. It looks brilliant. It's better than anything I've ever done. It's better than any of the life I've ever lived. And I really can see it all happening. This picture, this vision became very clear to me. And when I realised that this was true, I could feel inside of me this excitement that was whirring again. And I haven't felt that for such a long time. I could cry thinking about it, but I won't. Anyway, it's 3 a.m. I'm not sure whether to get any more sleep or to stay up. I guess I'm going to keep staying up until it becomes impossible to stay awake. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So, Camden Town, I'm coming for you again. Going to be back, and I'm going to have lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of great experiences There's going to be lots of money. There's going to be lots of adventures. There's going to be lots of great mates. Lots of exciting nights. And lots of dancing with joy. Once again, I'm going to be back in my town, my hometown. I can't wait. It's going to be magic. It's genuinely going to be magic. The fantasy is so real now. It's not going away. It's going to happen. Alright. See you in a bit.